Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sankar. Today I'm going to show you the power of Massive X. So let's go into Massive X and start talking about sound design. So here I have Massive X. This is your basic init patch with some sauce. I'm going to go and show you guys all around Massive X creating some sounds, because that's what we do. So I'm going to start by showing you guys here that we can select some really cool wavetables. So for example, if I go here into a vowel, so I'm going to go here, I'm going to click this, I'm going to create a LFO. However, there's a few things that I quickly noticed. It's bipolar, so it's going left and right, which we can check here, unipolar, so it goes one way. And here, we can create it to be a sync. But every time I press the key, the phase doesn't restart of the LFO, and that's because we have to go here and loop restart. And here we can select the different LFO shapes. We can also add LFOs, for example, to volume, which is right over here at number 2. We can also enable phase modulation here, which can also be modulated if we go here. We can add some white noise. And then we can go into the voices and we can set reset all, so that the bass always starts with the same sound, so it doesn't change because of the phasing. We can also change the wavetable here of a phase modulation. So for example, triangle, we can set the percentage. So for example, this, instead of working by octave, works as percentage, sort of like Citrus, FL Studio. So if you want a octave, it goes by multiple. So the multiple of 1 is 2, the multiple of 2 is 4, the multiple of 4 is 8, and so on. That sounds really cool. I really like that tone over there. Maybe with a triangle sounds better. Then after that, we can go into our filter. There's quite a few filters that we can select, and each filter has its own set. So for example, here on the Monarch, we have a double notch filter. Which we can also LFO. We can add these 3 ABC effects, which are auxiliary effects. So for example, if we go here onto A, we can add a third oscillator over here. We can add, for example, frequency shifters, bit crush, and all those. And then it goes really cool because then you can route where the sounds go. For example, you can set it so that the first utility over here, the oscillators first go into the utility and then go into the filter, or the other way around. So for example, if I want some frequency shifting happening here, it happens before the filter. Or what I can do is I can have a filter here, which would be a utility set to high pass. I can then cut the high end of that. So I'm going to disable oscillator 1. I'm going to have this go into utility number A. I have oscillator 2 go directly into C. I want it to go into C. So as you can see, I'm going to set oscillator 2 to just be a sine wave as a sub. Maybe a sort of something like that. And then number B here is going to be our frequency shifter, so that only the high end, everything that's going after the high pass filter is being frequency shifted. We can also modulate this even more. We can have 2 filters over here. So for example, we can also add a low pass. Something like that, so it's sort of like a bandpass filter. You can create some really cool tones now with this. And then over here on C, we can just have it be, for example, some distortion. Nothing too aggressive. And then over here on the X, Y, these are our basic effects. So for example, we have our classic dimension expander. Again, we can take oscillator 2 or oscillator B, route it directly into the out by doing like so. So that none of these effects are going into oscillator number 2. So I'm going to drag oscillator number 2 over here so that it's a separate oscillator. We can set it here to be 100% stereo, maybe like 20%. We can also add some other effects. For example, some chorus sounds really nice. Maybe some more effects here, like some delay. Not sure why it's all 1/16 bar. I think that might be a bug. Not sure. And we can also enable some feedback. So what feedback does is that it takes the sound, puts it back into a feedback loop. So as you can see here in the filter, the feedback goes after the filter back into the filter. It creates a really cool loop, which is really awesome for creating those kinds of sort of repetitive sound, like very piercing. We can also boost the volume over here. And then we can go even further, adjusting the LFO. And just like that, you can create some really cool tones using Massive X. And that's basically a really quick in-depth guide on Massive X. It's really powerful. It's actually really cool, really great tool. It's very versatile. It's very different from other VSTs. So if you guys want more tutorials, you want some specific sounds that you want to learn, Comment down below what you want to see. Do you want some more Massive X tutorials? You think Massive X is cool, or you think Massive X is still a flop? Comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was Sunpeter with another tutorial. I'll see you in the next one.